Adam Anderson is in the studio with us. He is driving Gravedigger. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, doing good, guys.
I have so many questions for you. Let's start from the beginning here. First of all, uh, are you embarrassed when an adult man like me says he's very excited to come see Gravedigger, or are you mostly expecting children?
Maybe it used to be a little bit. It was a little bit weird. Maybe when I was younger
Right.
guy doing this, but now, it's whatever, man. Bring it on. Let's all have some fun.
I'm going to tell you that. So I grew up in New York, and we didn't really have. At least when I was a kid, it didn't really roll through a lot. And then I came here, and I saw it. I'd seen it on TV every once in a while, and I was like, "This just looks so dumb." And then you go there for the first time, and it's like what they say in NASCAR. They say you love NASCAR when you go to your first NASCAR race. I went there and was so. I mean, I was laughing. And when those truck, I love the fact that when a truck does something successfully, they don't stop. They keep going to fail and until an axle falls or cracks or a tire falls off, and it's so much fun to watch. And then when they bring the RV out and everybody comes and smash the RV, I'm like, this was. I'll tell you, it was really one of the most entertaining things I'd ever seen. And then when I had children and I got to bring them for years, and then they go through this phase where they don't want to hang out with your parents anymore. But this year, both of my kids said that they wanted to go, so we're going, and I'm very excited to be there.
That's awesome.
Now, you've grown up in this your whole life?
That's it, my whole life, man. My dad created Gravedigger in 1982.
Now, what did your dad do before Gravedigger?
What did he do for?
Yeah, well, before Gravedigger,
he was so he was actually working on a farm when he built the first Gravedigger truck. He was working in a granary, and he was sewing bags of grain shut as the owner of the farm, his son came in and was talking smack to my dad about his truck that he had been building out of all these junk parts. And the farmer's son had this really nice truck, all the new parts and pieces. He had the money to be able to buy it.
Right.
My dad was sitting there sewing a bag of grain shut, and he said, "I'm going to take this old junk and dig you a grave." And all the other guys in the granary said they started hooping, hollering a little bit, and then they went out and they wrote Gravedigger on his time card. He went home that night and spray painted Gravedigger on the side of that old 51 Ford pickup truck that he had. And then it's just never stopped. It's just kept going from then and out, just being show-offs.
That's a great origin story. That is great.
Yeah. And what is the first actual show car Gravedigger? Like when I don't know what came first,
so
Monster Jam or Gravedigger?
No, Gravedigger was around first, and it was and my dad created it in 1982, and and it's just kind of went through all the fluctuations, the changes of what Monster Trucks and Monster Jam has been from the beginning, because it kind of was like that redneckish feel. It was, it wasn't. Now it's everybody.
Yeah.
All walks of life come to this now, and you still can. You can go there with your buddies, hang out, tailgate, do whatever. But then grandma and granddad bring the grandkids, the entire family, and everybody can have a blast. Like you said, you don't realize it until everybody watches it. You see it on YouTube, you follow it, you see all the highlight reels. But to actually see it live and in person, it's a different feel.
And kids, I remember when my son went for the first time, it cost me a lot of money afterwards because I had to buy action figures and cars and all that stuff.
I'm very sorry, but thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You gave my kids Christmas.
And I'm happy to do so because they really get hooked on it. It's something fun and exciting. It's very much like like the circus, where you don't know what you're going to see and you leave there just happy.
Yeah, every time. And people come in and Gravedigger is a very popular name. It's been around for a long time, one of the most famous trucks, but at the same time, it doesn't bug me when people cheer for the other people.
Right.
It's absolutely not, and so there's all these other trucks, and it's like the trucks become their own type of, they carry themselves.
Yeah.
And so they have their own persona basically out there. And it kind of fits some of the families and the kids, and so and then you
got the girl one, you got the
Sparkle Smash and stuff. Yeah. A big hit right now. I never thought I'd be racing a 12,000-pound unicorn. But.
I don't get mad at me for this because I don't really understand. I'm going to watch the spectacle of it. I don't know. Is it really a competition, or is it like a WWE competition?
No, it is really a competition. We actually have points that are leading up to the World Finals,
right?
That'll be held in July in Salt Lake City. But so every night we have the racing portion of the competition, which is all 12 trucks competing head to head. You crown that winner. The winner gets 12 points, and then so on down the line.
Okay.
Then you have the skills competition, which is like the best trick kind of deal, where you're doing all the stoppies and moonwalks and all that stuff.
Right.
Same thing. You get scored on that. And then that goes for the freestyle as well, which is my favorite part too, is where you basically are just going out and it's whatever happens. You're hanging on for the ride.
No, do you say to yourself, I mean, it may be an every night thing for you, or tonight I'm going to do this in the freestyle, or do you just get in there and go, let's just see what happens?
Most of the time I get in there and I'm like, God, I'm exhausted. I don't even want to drive this thing right now. I can't believe I've been here since 5 this morning. But then it's like a switch goes off.
Yeah.
As soon, and I'm talking about, it can be the moment I'm just be exhausted, I'm wore out, but as soon as you fire that truck up, those red headlights come on, you pull out on the track, and the crowd is just on before you've done anything. It's like, oh, here we go.
Have you ever been hurt?
Yeah, I have.
What? How bad?
I mean, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had some injuries along the way, but I've been driving myself for 20 years now. And, you know, I've kind of been one of the crash test dummies because of my father. He also was, but then once he had kids, and I have 3 other siblings that compete as well, I'm the oldest out of them. So I was the first one to be testing all the new stuff. And so we would break something and then we would learn how to fix it. And so we've developed what all the Monster Jam trucks have today, basically, and for the safety equipment that goes along with it. So I used to get injured a lot more now, but I'm 40 years old now, and I'm still driving pretty aggressively, and I probably shouldn't be, but it feels good.
Is there something on your dad's early, like one of the early versions of the truck that you're like, I can't believe you drove this thing?
Yeah, he had an 8-track player, an indoor-outdoor carpet with T-Bird bucket seats.
Because they talk about, like, Evel Knievel used to drive, like, stock Harleys that didn't have, good shocks or anything, and people are like, I can't believe you jumped 3 feet, let alone jumping over Caesar's Palace and stuff.
That's the original truck?
That is the original
Yeah.
truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a real truck.
That's pretty cool.
Looks like Mater.
Yeah, basically.
So what kind of crew does each individual car have? Like, I know when you guys are breaking stuff, are they fixing them right on site?
Absolutely, yeah. And even in the show, like you'll see during like the racing competition, somebody has a pretty bad crash, and no matter what, even if the trucks are built to crash, basically, but at the same time, the safety officials, everybody, they get them to the back, so we hurry up and we rush the trucks out back to make sure there is nothing, because sometimes you wreck and it doesn't seem like anything's wrong with the truck, then you get back there to inspect it, and there's a whole crew, they're waiting, they got their wrenches are warmed up, and they're standing in the back, they're ready to jump on that thing and get going. They're not even getting to watch the event. They might get to see it on a little screen a little bit, and they're like, here comes another one.
Right.
Bring it in, just keep rolling.
Wow. How you've been doing this for how long?
I've been driving for 20 years now.
20 years.
Yeah.
Married guy?
I am married.
Before you were married, were there Monster Jam groupies?
I didn't have time for that, but
How
there
dare
is
you?
if you want.
How
if
dare you?
want,
The reason I'd be doing a backflip in a 16-ton truck is so I can get some
I was
ass.
I was a young guy showing off, and it was for that. But at the same time, it was the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I was still chasing that part of it too. And but if I was looking for it, it's there.
It's there.
It's there. If you want it, you can go get it. But I'm good, man.
Yeah. I
have enough trouble. I'm good.
It's I'll tell you, if you've never been before, and you know me, I like to complain about everything. I have a ball. I'm excited to be going this weekend and checking it out. Now, used to be where they would cut it really cool. The Bucks used to stink so bad that they could kind of book this thing for January and it would be good.
Yeah.
And now you got to push it out to March, but you're getting 2 days out of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. And it changes periodically, but it's certain things like that. Over the years, we learn the patterns of these teams and what's going on, but also the changes when teams they sell. Somebody buys the team and they're going to move, or there's going to be a new stadium. And a lot of times, if there's a new stadium built, they don't even want us to come in there until they have the Super Bowl. Once they have the Super Bowl in a new stadium, then they're like, all right, let's have the
really?
So we can throw some dirt in there on the seats.
I always like the freestyle. That's always my favorite part.
Yeah.
Are there always like tricks that are evolving? Like, is there some type of trick that you've been trying to attempt, or something
absolutely,
new?
Absolutely, man. And it's like it really is my 2 boys at home. They're 13 and 10, and so we have like a simulator thing. I don't use it. All the younger drivers, they have the simulator thing and they practice.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you practice?
That's how honestly, it helps because it really does. But when I have my kids do it for me, I make them create the trick because I can't play the game. I can't play the simulator. I can do it pretty good, but I'm not like they do the trick and then they'll send me a video and I'm like, oh gosh, what are you trying to do to me? But it's like that, dude. And I've gotten tricks off of video games. Like the video game, kind of was like looking at it and like the physics weren't great, right? But I'm like, I think I could do that.
Oh,
And then
I'd
you
be so
try
scared
it, you
to do
hope
it.
for the best.
Yeah.
And
First
then
time
sometimes it happens on accident too. You do something that's crazy and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you go back and you look at the footage, you're like, you know what? Maybe I can do that on purpose.
Yeah.
First time I saw the truck do the backflip, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure that's like standard now.
It's almost the norm. It
Yeah.
really is. But it's still, it's just mind boggling to see the massive truck do a backflip like that every time.
Do you land it all the time?
No.
So what's that like
I
when you
want
hit?
to, believe me. Like I had a couple crashes, and I did one. It was like in 2016, I think, and I said, I am never doing that again.
Really?
That was horrible.
Yeah.
And it was because you go up and it just under rotated, like the tires spun on the way up the ramp,
Right.
because it was slick. And
you know right away too, I imagine, that it's
dude,
not going to
like,
hit.
Oh, this is you're falling upside down. You can see the earth coming. Here you go.
Oh man.
And there's nothing. I mean, you just
there's
got to
take it.
nothing
Yeah.
you can do.
So in the late '90s, when I first got started in radio, I was like the street guy, the stunt guy and all that. And they sent me to Monster Jam one morning, and they were like, go do something. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm like, I'm going to get in there and either pretend I'm driving or drive with the driver and do some stunts or whatever. Didn't know that there's only one seat in those things. And I got in, and I can't remember the car. It wasn't Gravedigger, I know that. But whatever the car was like...
there's no room in there.
This actually had some room because it was only one seat and it was in the center.
Yeah.
So this guy said, because there's like the frame of the car to stand over. So I'm standing in the wheel well.
That's where you were standing. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm sure you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm standing in the wheel well. I'm holding on to the bars. I'm on the radio, and there's this giant tire rotating underneath me. That all I have to do is fall into that. At 54 years old, I look back and think that is one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life. Yeah,
there's no way they do that now.
No,
Sure.
no, I know. Yeah, I guarantee
awesome.
we ran that by somebody. They'd be like, "No, you're not going to do that." Yeah. Is there a possibility that people do you do ride-alongs with anybody, like with the news or any of that stuff?
Not necessarily, not with the race trucks, because like you said, and there was a couple along the way. They've had a couple multi-seat trucks, but at the same time, we have the ride trucks, and we do that now. The ride trucks are purpose built for that,
right?
So they have all the right. They have seating for 12 people and all that stuff, but it's not the 1,500 horsepower.
No,
it's not the same thing, but it still is honestly a good ride. It doesn't look like much when they're out there driving the truck around in circles in a parking lot somewhere, but then you get in the truck, even just to turn and feel the body roll, it feels like the truck's going to flip over.
Oh,
but the tires are not even leaving the ground.
Right.
So it's
That's
pretty awesome.
such a weird thing. Does it bug you like it bugs me when you pull up at a 7-Eleven and some douchebag in his monster truck rolls in and parks there?
All right, so like I'm not that guy because I have I have monster trucks. So at home I drive regular vehicles, dude.
That's what I was going to ask you. What are you driving in your every day?
I have a brand new truck. I don't even use it.
Right.
I don't use it, and my wife is always mad at me. She's like, "Why do we have it?" I said, "I don't know. This is what old guys do. I have a brand new truck. I don't drive it. I drive an old Suburban." That they didn't. They had like an 8.1 liter in it. So I got it. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. I have an addiction to that.
Yeah.
And then I found it like 6 hours away. Some dude drove it to the Gravedigger to our shop and brought it to me and delivered it with this huge motor in it. And that's my airport ride, like an idiot. So I have no fuel mileage. But all my kids love it. They don't even want to ride in my wife's new vehicle or my truck. They're like, let's take the Suburban
old
down.
truck.
Like,
That's got to be a great perk, having friends that can fix everything. And you're like, yeah, I'll buy a truck and have these guys fix it.
Yeah. It's helpful. That is nice.
This is, I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to it now even more. This is Adam Anderson. He's a driver of Gravedigger. What is your dad doing these days? Is he just...
He's going around. He's still running around the country doing
just
some stuff here and there.
Dennis.
But it's like I told him, so I don't even know how many weeks in we're in on our season. It feels like I've been out on the road already for half the year. But the first part of the season, man, really kicking off, doing a lot of promotional stuff out on the road. So I was home maybe 4 days the entire month, the first month.
Wow.
And that's part of it. That's been my life. I get it. But I was wore out, tired, and got sick, and never slowed down. And my dad, I sent him a message, and I didn't even know where he was.
Right.
And, he did this for 37 years and is still doing stuff behind the scenes, still and out front. But I'm like, I'm sick of being Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger Dad. I'm over this right now. Because I was laying in a hotel room and just sick, and I was joking with him.
Right.
And then he sends me back a picture. He's on a ski lift with skis. What are you doing?
One day,
he's like
son.
66 years old. I'm like, you don't need to be doing that, dude.
This is a little personal, but that's what I was going to ask you. How is the money? Can you compare it to a sport? Is it up there with professional athlete money? Is it like where? Like, do you feel like you're kind of rich, or do you feel like, well, you're not getting what you deserve?
No, I do okay.
Yeah.
I know that we should get more for sure, but at
Right.
the same time, it's where we've come from, because you didn't. There's a lot of people that go out there and it's a passion. It's something they want to do and want to be a part of, and they will bury themselves. Most people have another income to support their monster
That's
truck
what I want to
team.
know. Yeah.
I don't. I'm fortunate enough, but I am. I'm
You
gone
grew
all
up
the
in
time.
it,
I grew
so,
up in it.
yeah.
This has been our job, and it's a little bit different. And we have, but we're going nonstop. This is it. And those guys, they'll go out for the weekend, race their trucks, do whatever. They go home on a Monday morning. They're back to their normal job.
Yeah.
To support their habit of being having a Monster Jam truck. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get into either. It's really hard to become a driver. And just to find the right path to be able to get. And a lot of people, they think they want to do it, and then sometimes when they do become a part of it, it's not for them because it's difficult.
Did you drive Son of Gravedigger, or was that one of your siblings?
That was my brother.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Ryan, and he is in. They're in New Orleans right now.
Still doing Son of Gravedigger?
Yeah, he's in New Orleans, and my sister, she drives.
How did
another
he
big-
not get the knock before you?
He's
you
the
the
oldest.
older one?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay.
But and honestly, we started it, but then it was like I didn't. We started the Son of a Digger thing, and then I just started doing other stuff. We didn't have no way to train, so my way of training was basically jumping in the seat of other trucks because I was scared at first. I was nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. I grew up around it and all that stuff, but I didn't know if I could compete and perform to the level that Gravedigger needed to be.
Right.
So I drove a
That's
couple
some
other
pressure.
trucks along the way.
Yeah.
Like kind of stayed low key, worked my way up, worked up the ranks. I stayed on the road. I drove the tractor trailer. I crewed on the trucks.
Yeah.
And and then it was like, then finally this time, it was after a couple years, I was even like, okay, I can do this. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I got this. And then I stepped into the Gravedigger truck.
Did your dad do like a mafia kind of thing? Did you have to burn a picture of a saint before he handed over the
I think
title?
that's our
to you?
spinal cord. It's a spinal cord situation, I think, and it just continues for life. It's numbness in hands and feet.
Right,
So
right.
that's part of the.
I mean, the Gravedigger truck always seems to get the biggest pop from the crowd.
Sure.
Anytime I've ever been, that's when the crowd goes nuts.
But even when I never paid attention to it, because I'd hear the radio commercial in New York, but it would be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But you always do Gravedigger.
Yeah,
I mean, that was it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, from like I said, from my dad building the first Gravedigger in a chicken house and a chicken coop, to where it's at today. It is pretty unbelievable. I've been to 28 different countries myself.
And how do they like it? Like in other countries, like
It's so
you were
pretty
in India.
unbelievable. I haven't been to India. I've been
Like, what's the furthest place where you're like, I can't believe they like this?
man, I don't. It's hard to say. Like Beijing was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They've been over to Singapore.
Can I
They've
ask
been
you
to
a
the
dumb
Philippines.
question? How are they getting the trucks over to
It's
Beijing?
shipping containers.
Shipping containers.
Yeah,
so it takes
they
probably
normally-
weeks to get over there.
Yeah, it does. And they've left out of the port, and then went down through the Panama. I think that was the longest trip they ever took.
Right.
they break them down and like ship them over.
You have to just take the big tires
Yeah.
off, just like we do in the States, basically. But it's a little more difficult because the shipping containers aren't purpose built for all of our spare parts and having all the stuff that we really need. So, and in turn, we have a whole separate. So it has to be 2 units basically with all the spare parts and welders, fabricating stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got to tell you, this is really interesting. Before you go, I have to ask you, what is your favorite color? I'm just kidding.
It's green.
I'm just kidding. They gave us a list of suggested questions.
Is
for
that
you.
one of
One of
them?
them was your favorite color.
That's awesome.
Pretty groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah. Like, should we ask these things?
I just think
No.
that's really,
What
no.
number am I thinking of?
That's terrible.
Yeah. It was funny. This is Adam Anderson. He's the driver of Gravedigger, and he is going to be out there on Saturday night at Raymond James Stadium, and then Sunday afternoon for a matinee show.
Yep.
I'm going out there on Saturday. I am very much looking forward to being out there and seeing it. If you've never been before, trust me, I promise you will leave there with a smile and you will have a great time. And unlike years before that I've gone there in January, it's not going to be 30 degrees out. It's going to be beautiful 60
Yeah.
degrees. It's going to be nice weather, and it'll be a great time.
I'm excited about that. I really am.
Where is I'm not pushing for Tampa. What is the number one spot in the country for Monster Jam?
It's honestly, Tampa is one of the most talked about nowadays. And at first I was kind of like, why? What is it? What's the deal? Why? And because I didn't, but it's not one in specific. It
Right.
really isn't. It's just it's a vibe.
Is there a
But the
different
vibe-
is there a different area that's better? That is a southern thing? Is it a western thing? A
It's
midwestern
almost like the crowds can be different, but but it's big. But
Yeah.
it's big, but they carry themselves. You know, you go up north and everybody carries themselves. It's a little bit different than down south or over in Texas. And the biggest thing is the dirt. That sounds weird to say, but I have dirt that is my favorite because you can do a better performance.
Sure.
I don't want to say it's a guarantee. It's more forgiving on the truck and yourself. Sometimes, like, all right, we're good here.
Who's got the best dirt?
As long as it's a little bit sandy.
Yeah.
As long as it's a little bit sandy. That's all I like. And Tampa's got great dirt because it's
We got plenty of sand.
Yeah.
Plenty of sand. And,
Where are we getting the dirt from?
they keep it. So I think Monster Jam owns the most land without owning land in the world because they have to store the dirt for every venue. Wherever it's, I don't even know where it's stored at here in Tampa, but they own the dirt. It is stored year round somewhere
And they
on a
just bring
site.
it in and out.
And then when it's time to come in, they come in between them and Supercross. We'll swap back and forth.
Right.
We share the dirt.
yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
And
Pain in the ass that
even
must
overseas. Even overseas.
They carry the dirt overseas?
There's their dirt over there.
I was like, Jesus, they're carrying dirt over
We've
there.
had the trucks. We've had the trucks. They were like impound. They were held up at port because they got muddy, and they wouldn't let us in. They said they held someone for like a month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, look, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there. I appreciate you getting up early and coming here today.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to have you carrying on the Gravedigger legacy. And one day when your spinal cord snaps during a backflip, I'm going to be like, we know that dude. He was in the studio.
Yeah. Hey, he's in there now.
Yeah.
I feel when it comes to kids, monster truck driver cooler than radio host because we
Do
get it-
your
we get-
kids
happens a lot.
invite you to school for like bring your dad to school
My
day?
kids?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
My own kids know, but
Right.
like they think it's cool, but they don't think I'm cool.
Okay.
Okay?
We all
They
fall in the
think
same
it's
category.
Cool, but I'm not that cool. Like I pull up and I turn music up at the pickup line and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm talking
yeah.
smack to all the teachers.
Right.
My kids hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it because I know all of them. We're in a small town.
Yeah.
So they don't like it. And like I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm going to go in the school dressed like this. And they're like, Dad.
I'm constantly trying to convince my kids that I have a cool job and I'm a cooler dad than the other dads because we work on the radio. I would imagine monster truck goes even further.
Oh, yeah, monster truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my dad drives a monster truck. What does your
Right.
dad do?
Right.
You know,
They don't care.
they don't care. Yeah,
They don't.
I am cooler than guy who picks his kid up in a Cybertruck, though.
Yeah.
I said to
I
my
don't
daughter,
do that.
there was a guy with an electric company van, like and then there was a Cybertruck, and I said, which would you be more embarrassed if I picked up? She said the Cybertruck for sure, for sure. Yeah. Adam, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.